But we want to start here. Julie Kay is here covering all things politics. So we got Julie and Ben Thompson, Flashpoint. Remember, Flashpoint each Sunday at 11 a.m. You don't want to miss it on the WCNC Charlotte app. But our first interview, and I say you guys' first interview with Congressman Ralph Norman after his primary success. In 2 weeks, voters will decide who they want on the November ballot, and that is for U.S. Senate, replacing the late Senator Lindsey Graham. Darline Graham, the current U.S. Senator, filling in for her brother, and Congressman Ralph Norman.
You're not going to ask how I am? Been waiting this whole time. Didn't check on me. I've had a long week. Wow.
I was getting there.
Okay, you're right. Sorry.
I didn't get a chance to finish. And Julie Kay is here in studio following this race. She has been following this race for a while. Well,
as long as you can.
As long as you could, right, and can. How are you doing, Julie?
I'm okay, thank you. It's been a long couple weeks.
That's what I was building up to. She threw me off. I had a whole thing going. She threw me off.
Allegedly.
Supposedly.
I am good. It has been a busy week. I was there at Congressman Ralph Norman's watch party on Tuesday night. Obviously very exciting for that camp. And then we're hoping to hear from Senator Darline Graham sometime next week. She wasn't able to make today work because we like to, of course, hear from both candidates at the same time. But it is a busy 2 weeks for these two, so understandable that not everyone can be available at the same time. So we'll hear from her team sometime next week. So today we talked to Norman. He is getting ready to go to every single part of the state is kind of how he's phrasing it. It's going to be interesting to watch where they prioritize. Of course, Graham won a good portion of the state, really the capital and any surrounding county down south. Of course, Norman, Rock Hill native, so he won a lot of those northern counties. Interestingly enough, though, Lancaster, Darline Graham did pull out the win slightly, so that's interesting. And then the bigger chunk that is left is those won by Russell Fry, congressman. So Myrtle Beach territory is kind of up for grabs. So I expect, though, both of them will be in every part of the state as much as possible, and that is what he is saying. I anticipate they'll spend a little bit more time in those open counties on the coast.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, how that shakes out when it comes to Myrtle Beach, which is Horry County.
Yep.
That's a huge county. That's a big district.
Yeah.
So it's like, what? Okay, are they going to? Darline Graham. I mean, she won most of the state. Does she
did.
Go down to focus more of it on Horry County?
She won about a third of the vote. Norman won about 25% of the vote, but I think it was 21% that Fry was at, and so that is a huge chunk. And then you look at, for example, Charleston is an interesting area because that's Sanford's home territory, so he won a big chunk of the vote. Even though Graham pulled through and eventually won, I think Sanford got at least. He was very close, and so I expect even some of the ones that Graham did win. You'll see a lot of effort from Norman because there's a lot of votes still up for grabs. So it's going to be really interesting to watch. He is kind of framing this as, I have a record and she doesn't. She is, of course, the political newcomer here. She has the connection, of course, to her brother and was a part of what they call his kind of kitchen table cabinet for so long. And so she's familiar with the language, but this is her first venture into the political sphere. From what he was saying, he was kind of associating her more with kind of the DC swamp, as he called it, as opposed to South Carolina itself. So that was an interesting angle for him to take. But of course, at the same time, he does not have the endorsement of President Trump. We saw in the gubernatorial race that didn't necessarily change the outcome, but it does still have a lot of sway when you go out and talk to voters. So, a lot of question marks still left. It could go either way, but Darline Graham is certainly walking in with a leg up.
So interesting. Another thing I thought about with Horry County and even like in the Charleston area, like Dorchester, those counties, Charleston County, those are very transient areas because a lot of industry in those areas. When I worked in Myrtle Beach, there are a lot of folks that moved from northern states down because in theory it was cheaper to live there. So that was 10 plus years ago.
It's a nice idea.
It's a nice idea. Interesting stuff. Julie, hopefully you have a Celsius with you.
Yeah.
Do you need a cup of coffee too?
I already have.
Because you got to buckle up because the next couple of weeks it's going to get even busier.
I know. I'm going to have these shipped to my house.
I was about to say, can we? Okay, I can't say that on air.
Sponsorship.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
I can't.
Well, there you go. Julie Kay covering all things politics. Catch her and Ben Thompson Sunday at 11 a.m. Flashpoint. You don't want to miss it. Great stuff and great work by those two. Julie, as always, thank you for stopping in.
Thank you.
And I'm